Hey, bro, hit my intro.
What's happening, my visionaries? It's your man J Rock. Back in effect, I'm live and direct, and I'm coming at your neck with yet another video, baby. The video, man, as always, just like, subscribe if you want to. If you don't, then just do it if you want to do it, because Jesus said this was the right thing to do. What's happening, my visionaries? It's your man J Rock. Back up at this thing with yet another video, man. You already know. I feel like it's been a while since I did some metal, man. I'm pretty sure it's been a while since I did some metal, like a specific metal track, like it's metal. So I just feel like it's been a while since I've done it. So to get back into the swing of the metal tween, the fuck was that? I started to say metal team. So to get back into the swing of the metal team, we got Iron Maiden, Die With Your Boots On. Now, if I had to infer, just give a kind of hypothetical inference about what the title could be pertaining to, Die With Your Boots On, just maybe about perhaps dying with dignity and integrity. Maybe dying with your head held high, you know, going out with a sense of morality, a sense of honor. Could be. We won't know until we listen to it. So anyway, let me put on my headphones to true. Bam! And we gonna do what it do. We got Iron Maiden, Die With Your Boots On. Let's do it. Like this riff. I mean, this is an interesting time signature. This is an interesting drum pattern on this track. I mean, it's almost like it's definitely an intriguing sort of pattern. And I like the way it's interesting also at the beginning of the track how the bass was almost playing. And this is gonna sound nonsensical as hell, but the bass would sound like it was being played fast but slow at the same time to catch up to the beat of the drum. So between the spaces where the drums weren't played, the bass would kind of pick up. It would go doom doom doom, and then on the one it would go doom. It would speed up on the space between where the drums weren't playing. But when the drums hit back on the one, it would go back to that same, you know, it would match that same rhythmic pattern. Kind of interesting. I don't know if anybody else is hearing that like I'm hearing it. I don't know if there's a specific terminology behind that technique, that way of playing, but if it is, let me know. Okay, now I'm hearing it. Now it's getting back to sound like 4/4. Or 3. Nice harmonies. Nice bass on this chorus. When it is I love this guy's vibrato and the falsetto. Like before progress from the bass on that last, on the end of that bar. The bass on this solo though. I like that breakdown right there. That was nice. Like that little scale right there. Yeah. Yeah. That was nice, man. I like that. I like that. Definitely that, sort of quintessential 80s, metal song. But I gotta say, there's only been a couple, Iron Maiden songs that I've listened to, and I'm not familiar with the band at all beyond those few songs that I have listened to. But the lead singer Bruce Dickinson is definitely one of the best vocally that I've heard as far as that classic style of 80s metal. I just love his falsettos, man. His head voice is spectacular. That range that he can get to, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, so "Die with Your Boots On" is an idiom, or as it says, idiomatic expression that means to go out fighting, struggling, and clawing, the opposite of dying in bed. So essentially, kind of my previous prediction of the song, what the song be about, was accurate. Yeah, so essentially it's just about, if you're gonna go, you go out swinging. You go out in a blaze of glory, so to speak. And I love this idiom. It's one that I would hope to really apply to my life. Not necessarily just when in a literal sense, but even in a figurative sense. Like whatever you do, I mean, you've got to you might as well give it your all. So Um, but yeah, check out the lyrics though. Yet another prophet of disaster who says the ship is lost. Another prophet of disaster leaving you to count the cost, taunting us with visions, afflicting us with fear, predicting war for millions in the hope that one appears. Love that ending. Taunting us with visions, afflicting us with fear, predicting war for millions in the hope that one appears. So this line to me is, I interpret this as a line presenting disdain for those petulant warmongers who are the ones who always want to prophesize some impending or imminent war, hoping, that one appears. And as he said in the first verse, yet another prophet of disaster who says the ship is lost. Another prophet of disaster leaving you to count the cost. Man, no point asking when it is. No point asking who's to go. No point asking what's the game. No point asking who's to blame. So he's essentially saying there's no point of asking when, where, how, or why, when essentially it is just speaking on the prominent inevitability that is impermanence, which is death. It's going to happen, so there's no point in asking when. You just know it's going to happen. It says, if you're going to die, die with your boots on. If you're going to try, well, stick around. Going to cry, just move along. If you're going to die, you're going to die. If you're going to... I love this very just realistic, logical, pragmatic perspective on when it pertains to this. There's nothing reassuring about this at all, but it's realistic. It's realism. Is that, but it's also at the same time is also somewhat encouraging. It says you're gonna die, so might as well go out with you, die with the boots on. If you're gonna try, well, stick around. You're gonna go out on your shield. 13, the beast is rising. I'm on Genius, but I don't use Genius to do my analysis. I try to look away. I'm really just focusing on the lyrics, and I give my own interpretation. But if there's something I don't understand, I will use Genius to aid me in that, because I really want to understand the meaning of the song. But I still try to give my interpretation, my analysis. But 13, the beast is rising. So this annotation says, and Tarot, the 13th card, is death. 13 is considered an unlucky number by many. Think Friday the 13th, while it doesn't seem to have a particular correlation to the beast. The beast is more likely to revel to the book of Revelation and is a self-referential to the track. Number of the beast is the biblical number of the beast is 666. It's a little confusing to see the beast juxtaposed with 13. Okay, that's an interesting interpretation. 13 is considered an unlucky number, huh? Well, that would explain why my life is so shitty. My birthday's a Thursday plan. I don't believe in that shit. 13, the beast is rising. The Frenchman did surmise. 13, the beast is rising. Okay, so yeah, this person gets it. Revelation 13, the beast from the sea. Then I stood on the end of this. I stood on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rising up out of the sea. So it's a reference to the biblical passage. Revelation 13. So 13, the beast is rising. The Frenchman did surmise. Through earthquakes and starvation, the warlord will arise. So this is likely a reference to Nostradamus, a 16th century French physician famous for making a slew of predictions, not to be confused with Nostradamus. Nostradamus' most famous predictions dealt with the rise of three great antichrists who would cause great strife and war in the world. The most remarkable prediction nearly named Hitler and said he would rise to power in Germany. Prophecy advocates point to the predictions which have apparently borne out and frequently ignored the manner in which events are said to fit, in the most cases rather vague predictions. Okay. So it says the Frenchman did surmise could be a reference to Nostradamus with his almost prophetic prophetic predictions to be true, and surmise meaning that he gave these predictions, these ambiguous predictions, without any evidence. They're just vague and general and ambiguous predictions that could really, if someone said okay, well, in this particular time someone will rise to power and call and be a great tyrannical totalitarian force, and you could say, well, yeah, that's just the nature of the world, that's the way it's structured. Terror, death, destruction pour from the eastern sands, but the truth of all predictions is always in your hands. So essentially I interpret that as but the truth of all predictions is always in your hands. The validity of predictions, because predictions can have no validity unless it's to me, there's a difference between predicting and then predicting something to which is, vague or ambiguous, to predicting a sort of trend line to where something is showing, where it may trend, its trajectory. But it's essentially what I interpret this as saying is that all this truth, these perceived oracles of wisdom and visions, the underlying messages is that the validity of this and credibility of this relies in the individual that's receiving this to determine within themselves if this is deemed to be true or not. Yeah, so your life is not reliant upon someone else's prediction or creating this proponent of your life. It relies on yourself, so you have to take that responsibility. Yeah, but I like the song, man. I love the message behind it. It's a great message, and like the riffs, man. It was all good. Love the bass in this. Nice quintessential metal track. So appreciate you for checking that out. When we check out some more Iron Maiden, man, let me know down in the comment section below. Great solo as well. Great singing. Great bass playing. I love the bass playing. The bass stuck out more to me on the solo because I love the high octave notes. I don't know if he was playing a 6-string or not, but if it was 4, I just love that high octave note, man. It was nice. It was a nice different approach to what I usually hear from those 80 styles of bass. Once it gets to that solo, pretty much the guitar is the only aspect, the most integral aspect, the most prominent aspect of that section of the song. Love the rhythm section in this as well too. But anyway, if you like it, you like it, and if you don't, you don't. And hey, man, it is what it is. So as always, visionaries, I salute to you. Remember, I say best thing was charisma. I always tell you, do your very best. Live, love life. Because why? Because life is beautiful. That's why I'm going to catch y'all on the flip side. Deuces.